अभी तक हमने कर लिए चैप्टर्स 1 to 6। ठीक है, गीता के। एंड मैंने आपको शुरू में बताया था ना, गीता इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 पार्ट्स, यू कैन से। सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट शतकम। शतकम मीन 6, ग्रुप ऑफ 6। So the first group of 6 is the first 6 chapters. And the first 6 chapters are called a group because they are basically predominantly Karam Yoga chapters. And they are talking about mainly what you have to do as an individual to become more capable, to become more capable of receiving this knowledge and to live better in your life, how to improve your relationships with people. वो सारी बातें हमने करी थी। हाउ टू डू अप्रोच टू योर वर्क, अप्रोच टू योर रिलेशंस, अप्रोच टू लव। एंड इन द सो जस्ट टू क्विकली रिकैप, द फर्स्ट चैप्टर ही टॉक्ड अबाउट, ही सेड व्हाट इज संसार। अर्जुन ने जो करा था ना, जो अर्जुन की दुख की बात है, उसका नाम है अर्जुन विषाद योग। दैट मीन्स अर्जुन के दुख का योग। तो वो बता रहा था कि अर्जुन कैसे दुखी था, कैसे फंसा हुआ था वो। क्योंकि एक तरफ उसको लगता था ये दुर्योधन है, इसके साथ ही इज अ बैड मैन, मैंने उसको मारना है, ही नीड्स टू बी पनिश्ड। और दूसरी तरफ उसको लगता था मेरे ग्रैंडफादर, मेरे गुरुजी whom I love so much, वो भी उसके साथ है तो उनको भी मारना पड़ेगा। सो दिस इज अ वेरी ड्रामेटिक सिचुएशन, बट इट इज नॉट अनयूजुअल। द थीम ऑफ दिस सिचुएशन हैपेंस इन लाइफ ऑल द टाइम। द थीम इज के वी आर ऑलवेज इन दुविधा। हमको पता नहीं होता कि क्या ठीक है क्या गलत है। क्योंकि इस तरफ जाएंगे तो प्रॉब्लम है, इस तरफ जाएंगे तो दूसरी प्रॉब्लम है। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड संसार। एंड क्यों होती है ये सिचुएशन? अर्जुन के लिए तो बहुत ड्रामेटिक थी, तो उन्होंने बनाया था ना, बट दे मेड इट, ड्रामेटाइज्ड इट एंड शो इट टू अस, बट द सिचुएशन इज ऑलवेज देयर इन ऑल आवर लाइव्स। एंड ये इसलिए होती है बिकॉज वी आर वेरी वीक माइंडेड। बिकॉज हमको मोह हो जाता है, हमको अटैचमेंट्स हो जाती हैं। और जो फिर अभी हमको अटैचमेंट होती है ना, देन व्हाट इज राइट एंड व्हाट इज रॉन्ग वो हमको दिखना थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, वो धुंधला हो जाता है। And you can see that all the time, your children, your loved ones, when they get involved, then you start, you know, then your resolve to do always the right thing starts a little wavering a little bit, right? Because we want to take care of our loved ones. So this is called attachment. And what Gita tells us is कि जो हम लोग हैं ना, हम attachment को प्यार समझते हैं। हम हमको एक्चुअली क्या होता है, हमको डर होता है मन में कि हाय अगर इसको कुछ हो जाएगा या इनको कुछ हो जाएगा तो मैं कैसे जीऊंगी या मैं कैसे जीऊंगा। इस डर की वजह से दिस इज दिस इज अ फीचर ऑफ अटैचमेंट। सी द वे भगवान कृष्ण वांट्स टू एक्सप्लेन टू अस इज ही सेज कि एक्चुअली जो राइट वे ऑफ थिंकिंग इज दैट वो भी आत्मा है, वो भी भगवान है, तुम भी आत्मा हो, तुम भी भगवान हो। तुम्हारे अपने कर्म है, उनके अपने कर्म है। तुम्हारा काम है उनको देना। यू गिव टू द पीपल यू लव, गिव एज मच एज यू कैन। उनको जितना तुम दे सकते हो दो। तुम्हारा काम एक्सपेक्ट करना नहीं है। बिकॉज लव डजंट मीन कि तुम चाहो कि वो मेरे पास ही रहे हमेशा, या वो हमेशा मेरी आदर करें, या हमेशा मेरा कहना माने, या हमेशा उस रास्ते पे चलें जो रास्ता मुझे ठीक लगता है। सो दैट इज नॉट लव। दैट्स व्हाट गीता इज ट्राइंग टू से। दैट इज अटैचमेंट। सो अटैचमेंट होती है देन व्हेन योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस कम इन द मिडल, योर डिजायर्स, योर ईगो। वेरी ऑफन विद आवर चिल्ड्रन वी वांट, जो हमने नहीं करा ना अपनी जिंदगी में, हम चाहते हैं हमारे बच्चे वो कर दें हमारे लिए। लेकिन वो तो हम अपना सोच रहे हैं ना, बच्चों का तो नहीं सोच रहे। हम अपना एम अपने बच्चों के थ्रू कराना चाहते हैं। सो दैट इज अटैचमेंट। और हमको पता ही नहीं चलता व्हाट इज लव, व्हाट इज अटैचमेंट। वी आर totally confused. We confuse attachment with love all the time. And when we see that we are getting anxious, we are getting afraid, we are getting dukhi, that is a sign that there is attachment. That is not, that is attachment. So ये सारा कुछ is part of samsar. And then he also said कि संसार क्यों होता है। दिस इज अ वेदांत ने उन्होंने बताया है कि संसार इसलिए होता है, मतलब दीज थिंग्स इसलिए होती हैं बिकॉज हमको लगता है हमारे में तो कुछ है ही नहीं अपना। वी आर नथिंग विदाउट द पीपल दैट वी लव। ये हमको लगता है कि अगर हमारे लव्ड वंस नहीं है तो हमारा कोई अस्तित्व ही नहीं है। और अगर हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है तो हमारा कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है, हमारी कोई रिस्पेक्ट ही नहीं करेगा। अगर हमारे पास यू नो दौलत मतलब ये नहीं है, हमारे पास नाम नहीं है, देन नोबडी विल रिस्पेक्ट अस, देन वी आर नथिंग, वील बी यूजलेस इन लाइफ। दिस इज आवर फीलिंग which is at the back of the mind always. Very often, I remember we, you know, we want to get married not because we love the other person. We want to get married because सारी हमारी सहेलियों की शादी हो रही है, हमारी नहीं हुई। और और हमारे लाइक और हमारे फ्रेंड्स की शादी हो रही है। कैसे लगेगा, वो सब इकट्ठे इकट्ठे जाते हैं, दो दो हम पार्टियों में जाते हैं, अकेले जाते हैं, दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स। सो दीज आर ऑल signs of fear for ourselves. And for that reason, we feel that our will be complete by through others. So that is the basis of samsara. Because we don't have confidence in ourselves, because we don't have a feeling of self-worth, कि जैसा भी मैं हूं ठीक हूं, मैं अच्छा हूं, मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूं, ये फीलिंग नहीं है। इसलिए हम चाहते हैं कुछ और मिले हमें, और इस वजह से हमको संसार होता है। That is the cause for attachment. That is the cause for dilemmas. That is the cause for grief. That is the cause of everything. This is the key message from the first chapter of the Gita. That there is samsar, and the samsar is because of our own feelings of lack of adequacy. And what Gita is saying is that these are completely incorrect feelings. ये सिर्फ आपकी feeling ही है। दरअसल आप में कोई कमी नहीं है, कोई कमी नहीं है।
ये बात है।
If you don't clamor for people's respect, if you don't clamor for all these things, you'll be fine. You're just fine. Because you are as much Ishwar as anybody else. Just because someone has more money or more something else doesn't make them better and you worse. So this actually, actually the whole journey of Gita is this only, is to go from a feeling of lack to a feeling of fulfillment. This is the whole journey. In fact, that feeling of fulfillment is what is called moksha. A feeling कि मैं जहां हूं जैसे हूं बिल्कुल ठीक हूं, and I can relax and I can enjoy my life. I can relax and I can enjoy. कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। मैं मर भी गया और मर भी गई तब भी ठीक है, मेरी आत्मा को कुछ नहीं होगा। और अगर मैं जिंदा रहा रही तब भी ठीक है। आसपास वाले भी आते हैं जाते हैं, बिल्कुल ठीक है। दौलत आती है जाती है, कोई बात नहीं। दिस फीलिंग that I am fine, whatever else is happening to the world around me, is called moksha. Actually, this is what is moksha. हम सोचते हैं कि मोक्ष का मतलब होता है कि दोबारा जन्म नहीं होगा और ये नहीं होगा वो नहीं होगा। That is not moksha. That is a that is a क्या कहते हैं, popularized version, pop version of moksha. Okay, moksha actually means right now knowing, not just a feeling, knowing that I am just fine. And this is easier said than done. So whole of the Gita is a journey from knowing right now, we all know I am inadequate. मेरे को पता नहीं, सब कुछ मेरे को डर ही लगा रहता है हमेशा, मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है, ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा। इस फीलिंग से यू गो टू अ फीलिंग आई एम टोटली फाइन। दिस जर्नी इज एन इंटरनल जर्नी। नथिंग विल चेंज अराउंड यू। वही लोग हैं, वही घर हैं, वही हालात हैं, वही सब कुछ है। वही डोनाल्ड ट्रंप भी है, वही वॉर भी है। ओके, सब कुछ वही है। लेकिन अंदर तुम्हारे सडनली अ जर्नी इज हैपनिंग, and you're moving from a place where you're completely insecure to a place you are completely secure. That journey is what is Gita's journey. That's the journey Krishna Bhagavan wants you to take by understanding the Gita. So part वन में उसने chapter वन में उसने क्या बताया, उसने आपको अपनी current state बताई। He told you, look around and see how insecure you are. देखो तुम कैसे घबराए हुए हो, कैसे इस चीज से घबराहट है, इस चीज से घबराहट है, ये घबराहट है। Understand it and observe कि कैसे तुम अपने आप को रिएक्ट करते हो। एंड देन ही इज ऑल्सो सेइंग कि ये तुम्हारा कसूर नहीं है। डोंट थिंक कि तुम ऐसे रिएक्ट करते हो दैट मीन्स तुम्हारे में कोई कमी है। नो नो नो, दिस इज संसार। क्योंकि तुम संसार में हो, क्योंकि तुम जन्म से तुम्हारा संसार है, तुमको यही चीज सिखाई गई है। तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स भी हमेशा तुम्हें यही कहते थे, नहीं नहीं ऐसे मत कर, ये खराब हो जाएगा, ऐसे मत कर, कोई तेरे से शादी नहीं करेगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट। आवर पेरेंट्स हैव आल्सो गिवन अस दिस फीलिंग इन द बैक ऑफ माई माइंड ऑलवेज। डर बिठा दिया है, क्योंकि उनके मन में भी डर है, तो उन्होंने हमारे मन में भी डर बिठा दिया, बिकॉज दे आर थिंकिंग दे आर डूइंग द राइट थिंग। दे आर थिंकिंग कि अगर हम डरेंगे नहीं तो हमको कुछ हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए उनका काम है हमको डराना। नॉट इन अ बैड वे, आई मीन उनका काम है हमको बताना कि जिंदगी में कितनी कितनी बुरी चीजें हो रही हैं, तो अपना ख्याल रखो, गंदी बातें ऐसे मत करो, ऐसे मत करो, वो मत करो, राइट। आवर फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो आर द सेम थिंग। वो बताएंगे उसके पास देख क्या है, तेरे पास तो ये नहीं है, देन यू सी उसके पास भी ये है, फेसबुक में जाओगे तो एवरीबडी इज हैविंग फन। So all around you, all the messages you're getting is that you are inadequate unless you do something. Till you achieve something, you are inadequate. This is the message you're getting. We're all getting. अगर हम, मैं भी अमेरिका आ गया इसी चक्कर में। Okay, I have to do something. So मैंने कहा, okay, I have to do something. I must travel, I must go abroad, I must do this, I must earn this. So right, and you're all doing your own thing. In your own way, everybody is doing the same thing. I have to do something, I have to achieve something. So this is the message we've been given. It's not our fault. It's just the reality. And this has been the reality from time immemorial. Even during Gita's time यही था. You can see Gita is also, अर्जुन का भी वही हाल था. So this is a this is not something you can do anything about. But what you can do is that you can say, okay, now enough. Okay, let me try and change. Let me try to see whether I can get away from this needless अपने मन को मारना, जिंदगी को। बेसिकली हम अपनी जिंदगी तबाह कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज इतना हमारे पास मौका है जिंदगी को एंजॉय करने का। देयर सो मच नाइस थिंग्स हैपनिंग, देयर सो मच गॉड हैज गिवन अस, वी आर नॉट एंजॉयिंग देम, वी आर जस्ट, वी आर नॉट इवन लुकिंग एट द थिंग्स विच आर गुड, वी आर कॉन्स्टेंटली कंज्यूम्ड by all the things which cause us fear. So why do that? Why not enjoy? So when you have this understanding कि बहुत हो गया, अब मैं तंग आ गई हूँ चिंता कर करके, सो देन यू से ओके, दे मे बी समथिंग एल्स। ये जिंदगी से तो मुझे, और पैसे बनाने से तो ये खत्म नहीं होने वाला, और दोस्त बनाने से भी नहीं खत्म होने वाला, तो कुछ और होगा। देन यू से ओके, दे मस्ट बी समथिंग एल्स, एंड दैट समथिंग एल्स इज गीता, और स्पिरिचुअलिटी, और वेदांत, और एनीथिंग, इट डजंट हैव टू बी इंडियन। It can be, American will probably think of some other spirituality of his own, and somebody in with कोई आदिवासी अपना सोचेंगे, लेकिन all of them in their own way they go to spirituality, they start thinking differently, they start seeing the patterns which are gripping them, right? And then they say, okay, now I realize that I have these patterns which are creating bondage in me, and I want to get rid of these patterns. I'm done. So that was chapter one, to introduce you to the problem, to introduce you to the pattern, so that you can see very clearly कैसे तुम संसार में फंसे हुए हो, and you can start looking in your own life to see कैसे फंसे हुए हो. So this was all अर्जुन ही बोल रहा था, because Arjun is the one वो फंसा हुआ था. And then finally he told कृष्ण भगवान, he says, कृष्ण भगवान जी, बैठ गया, आई एम डन, मुझे नहीं पता क्या करूं, लड़ाई करूं ना करूं, ये करूं वो करूं, मुझे नहीं पता, आप मुझे प्लीज शिक्षा दो. एंड ही सेड, मुझे श्रेय दो, श्रेय. ही ऑल्सो सेड कि मुझे ये शिक्षा नहीं चाहिए कि मैं लड़ाई करूं कि ना करूं, अभी अभी की शिक्षा नहीं चाहिए, मुझे ऐसी शिक्षा चाहिए ताकि मुझे ये बातें हो ही ना, लेकिन मुझे रूट रूट से इनको निकालो. आज ये है, कल कुछ और हो जाएगा, परसों कुछ और हो जाएगा. आई डोंट वांट, आई वांट अ परमानेंट सोल्यूशन. दैट इज कॉल्ड श्रेय. एंड इफ यू रीड द गीता टेक्स्ट, ही एक्चुअली आस्क्स फॉर श्रेय. श्रेष्ठ होता है ना, श्रेष्ठ का मतलब होता है बड़ा, तो श्रेय का मतलब दैट नॉलेज जो सबसे बड़ी नॉलेज है. आज जो चैप्टर 7 है ना, वील गो बैक टू दैट. सो सो श्रेयस उसको चाहिए. सो भगवान कृष्ण से ओके, ही स्माइल्ड एंड ही सेड, ओके, सिंस यू आर आस्किंग फॉर इट, लेट मी टेल यू. सो देन द गीता स्टार्ट्स. सो चैप्टर 2 से एक्चुअली द गीता स्टार्ट्स, विच मीन्स द लेसन स्टार्ट्स. चैप्टर 2 वर्स 11. उसमें भगवान जी ने क्या कहा चैप्टर 2 में? पहले उसने बताया कि तुमको ये पता होना चाहिए, ही सोड द सीड. बीज जो है ना, इट टेक्स टाइम टू फ्लावर, but he sowed the seed. He said, let me tell you, you think you're this mind and body, and you think you will die, this mind and body will die, you will die. That is not true. You are Atma. Nothing happens to Atma. And there are a series of very nice verses which talk about this Atma. He says, मैं हूं यहाँ पे, तुम हो, वो जो राजा हैं आसपास जो रहे हैं, सब हमेशा थे और हमेशा रहेंगे. Right? That was the first thing he said. हमेशा थे, हमेशा रहेंगे. They were never non-existent. Then he said, Atma, then he said, Atma is neither born nor does it die. Jiyate na mriyate. Then he said, Atma cannot be killed by a weapon, cut by a weapon. It cannot be wet by water. It cannot be burnt by fire. It cannot be dried by wind. All these things he said. Then he said कि आत्मा जो तुम्हारे अंदर आत्मा है उसको उसने कहा देही. ही से ये देह के अंदर, देह जो है ना बॉडी, इसके अंदर एक देही है. वो देही सब देखती है. इट सीज हाउ यू आर यंग, उससे तुम बड़े हुए, फिर तुम बूढ़े हुए, वो सब देख रही है. देही को तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा. सी इनसाइड यू देर इज अ यू विच इज वॉचिंग यू ग्रो ओल्ड. इफ यू सी, you know that you were young at one time, and you know that you became older, and now you're older still, and then when you get older still you will know that too. Well, how do you know this? Because there is something inside you that knows. See, remember that, let's say if you're in an airplane, you're sitting in an airplane, and the airplane starts taking off, शुरू में take off कर रहा है, then it's flying, and तुम आराम से बैठे हुए हो उसके अंदर, खाना वाना आ रहा है, खाना खा रहे हो, correct? Talking to your neighbors, सीट में है, सब बातें कर रहे हो. Do you know that the plane is moving at 500 miles an hour? Can you tell? You can't tell. Let's say that the plane is moves at, तो धीरे हो जाता है, धीरे धीरे करके स्पीड ड्रॉप्स टू 400, तुमको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. इट गोज टू 600, तुमको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. बिकॉज यू आर मूविंग along with the plane. When you are moving along with something which is moving, you never feel the motion of that thing which is moving. To understand change, you have to be still. You have to be not changing. सो प्लेन के अंदर तो कोई नहीं पता, लेकिन अगर तुम नीचे खड़े हो, प्लेन के बाहर खड़े हो, ऊपर से प्लेन जा रहा है, यू कैन सी द प्लेन मूविंग बिकॉज यू आर स्टिल, द प्लेन इज मूविंग. बट इफ यू आर इनसाइड द प्लेन, then you don't feel the plane moving because you're also moving with the plane. It's This is called relativity. It's a very simple concept which Gita is telling you about, which is saying that if you see something is changing, you would not be changing with it. If you were changing with it, you won't observe the change. See, the whole world is rotating at a very high speed around the sun, revolving, rotating around its axis. We don't feel anything because we are moving with it. But if you see other planets which are going, we can see them move because we are not moving with them. So if you can feel that something in you feels, oh, I was young, now I'm older, tomorrow I'll be even older, you can see the change in yourself. That means that something in you has not been changing. If that was also changing, you would not feel that change. Anyway, this is this is the shlok from the Gita. It says कि तुम्हारे अंदर जो देही है, it sees all this. It's still, that's why it sees all this. It sees you move from childhood to old age and so on. And just like you moved, yatha, just like you moved from childhood to old age, similarly you will move into the next janam also. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तुमको कुछ नहीं हुआ. जब तुम यंग थे तब भी वही हो, जब तुम ओल्ड हो तब भी वही हो. तुम अंदर से तुम वही हो. And you can instinctively, you can feel it. You are the same. Sometimes if you forget your age, you will forget that you're old also. You might think मैं तो अभी young ही हूँ. Because you have no idea really. It's only when you look out and say, oh, okay, oh my God, look at my face. ये कब आ गई wrinkles? मुझे पता ही नहीं चला. Right? So that inside you doesn't change. And Bhagwan Krishna is saying when the body changes, that inside you will still be the same. It will not change. So he's just saying all these things to plant the seed of Atma. टू टेल अर्जुन कि देर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड आत्मा, कि सिर्फ ये माइंड और बॉडी नहीं है. यू कांट सी द आत्मा because that is you. You can't see yourself. Atma is the one that sees, so you can't see it. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You can't experience it because it's the one that experiences. So if you can't experience it, you'll think it's not there. You'll only think the things I can see are there. वही दिखेंगी तुमको. So unless someone tells you, तुमको पता ही नहीं होगा कि तुम्हारे पास तुम आत्मा हो. तुमको ख्याल ही नहीं आता इस बात का. सो तुम यही सोचते रहते हो कि मैं ये बॉडी हूँ, वो बॉडी चली गई. यू सी पीपल डाइंग अराउंड यू, से वो तो था अभी चला गया. सो हम भी चले जाएंगे, हम भी खत्म हो जाएंगे. Because you're not seeing the Atma, you're only seeing the body. So he's planting the seed by saying there is something called Atma. You can't see it, but it's there. That is why I tell you, nothing is going to happen to you. Your Atma. So he planted the seed in the first part of chapter 2. This was his first thing he did. And if you plant the seed, it takes time to grow. So he planted it early. पहले ही बता दिया उसने. Then he says, ये मैंने तुमको बता तो दिया कि तुम आत्मा हो, बट तुमने विश्वास तो नहीं करना. अगर मैंने भी आपको बता दिया, मैंने कह दिया गीता में लिखा है, आपको मैं वर्सेस भी दिखा दूंगा, दिखाए भी थे एक्चुअली. You may have forgotten. When we went through chapter 2, at that time we were going through the actual verses. So we actually went through those verses. So मैंने आपको verses भी दिखा दिए, but you're not going to believe. कल को अभी तो तुम बैठे बैठे you can believe, बड़ी अच्छी बात है वो, thank God I'm Atma. But tomorrow when you go out and some threatening thing happens, you're going to forget all about Atma. You're going to go back to your old life, right? That's because the patterns of samsara are so deeply ingrained that just knowledge in the head doesn't change them. You can't help it. It's very deeply ingrained. So Krishna Bhagavan says, for that reason, just by telling you that your Atma is not going to make a difference, because you're not ready to listen. You're too engrossed in the world. You're too engrossed in samsara. You want to get out. That's true. That's a great thing. That's a starting point. But at the moment, you're too engrossed in samsara. You have too many things which are pulling you, too many desires, too many unfulfilled desires, emotions, everything. All that is still there. So you have to work on those. You have to get your mind ready, prepare, before you can get this message properly. So he said, for that, let me introduce you to another discipline. It's called Karma Yoga. So he said in chapter 2, कहते अभी तक मैंने तुमको तो ज्ञान तो दे दिया है, ये बुद्धि योग, बुद्धि ज्ञान तो दे दिया तुमको कि तुम आत्मा हो, लेकिन अब मैं तुमको कर्म योग बताता हूं. अब सुनो, मैं कर्म योग बताता हूं. That's exactly his words. Tat shrudu, you listen. And he says, you have to follow karma yoga. Why? Because you have to get your mind ready. You have to get a handle on your desires, get a handle on your habits, your addictions, your anxieties. You need to just थोड़ा उन पे control करना शुरू करो. Only when you can control them a little bit and you can overcome them a little bit, then you can start listening to what I'm saying about Atma, and then you can start understanding and you can start changing. Right now, you're not ready for it. And you can see that in our life. We are not ready for it, right? हमको कितना हमारा गीता सुनते हैं, हमारा दिल है सुनने को. एक part of our mind wants us to follow Gita. It wants to know what Gita is saying because it finds the message very attractive. It's a very good message. It says you are complete in itself. You are fine as you are. Some part of you believes it, some part of you really wants it. But the rest of you, your body and mind is too habituated to this world, too habituated. So we can't get over it. So we have to do Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is the only answer. And Karma Yoga में क्या कहते हैं वो बताया उन्होंने Karma Yoga में chapter 2 में. And this is chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is all Karma Yoga. So first he says, let me give you Karma Yoga, then we'll go back to Gyan. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and second part of 2, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. What did he say? He said, I'm not asking you to leave this world. Because if I ask you to leave this world and go to the Himalayas, you cannot do it. Because you can go to the Himalayas, but you'll still be thinking about this world. This world it's not It's not your outside circumstances that you have to change. It's your internal circumstances that you have to change. What's inside you, that you have to change. Doesn't matter तुम कहाँ हो, तो दुनिया में हो बिल्कुल ठीक हो. Doesn't matter तुम क्या कर रहे हो. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a janitor, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a soldier, whatever you are, doesn't matter. Do what you have to do. This is your duty, this is your job, you have to do it. But try to change your attitude in doing that job. So remember, this is a smaller step than saying, imagine I'm Atma and give up everything. He's saying, I'm not asking you to change anything. Start small. वही इसी जिंदगी में रहो. वही लोग तुम्हारे पास हैं, वही हस्बैंड है, वही वाइफ है, वही बच्चे हैं, वही जॉब है, वही नेबर्स हैं, वही रिश्तेदार हैं. कोई चेंज मत करो. बिल्कुल ठीक है वही. बट जो तुम्हारा एटीट्यूड है, धीरे धीरे चेंज करो. कैसे उनसे बर्ताव कर रहे हो, उसको चेंज करो. How you react to the people around you change. And there he said, what is the change? He said, try to remember that, realize this. It's something to know. It's not an artificial attitude. It's something to know. He says, तुमको पता होगा. रियलिटी ये है कि तुम काम पे तो तुम्हारा कंट्रोल है. तुम क्या काम करो, कितना करो, वो तुम कंट्रोल कर सकते हो. लेकिन रिजल्ट पे तुम्हारा ज्यादा कंट्रोल नहीं है. थोड़ा सा कंट्रोल है, थोड़ा सा, बिकॉज योर एफर्ट is going to help with the result. So that is true. But you don't have complete control over results. You do not know whether by working hard you will be successful or not. You don't know. And you will see around you. You'll see some people बैठे बैठे सक्सेसफुल हो जाते हैं. लक. उनको बैठे बैठे पता नहीं सब कुछ मिल जाता है तुम्हारे हिसाब से. दे मे नॉट थिंक कि सब कुछ मिल गया है. दे मे स्टिल वांट मोर. तुमको लगेगा तुमको सब कुछ मिल गया है. And some people, they're trying and trying, good people trying, failure after failure. शादी पे खुश नहीं है, हस्बैंड तंग कर रहा है, जॉब में बॉस तंग कर रहा है, बेचारा इतना काम करता है फिर भी कुछ नहीं मिल रहा. These are also, you can see all that. So what's it telling you? You can say, what it's telling me is the world is unfair. But that doesn't help. That is not a helpful message to take from this. दुनिया unfair है. तो ठीक है, फिर unfair में कुड़ते रहो. That is up to you. That is one option. But the other thing it's telling you is that actually you don't have control over results. That is what it's really telling you. You don't have control, because if you had control, you'd just work hard and be successful, not work hard, not be successful. With your good intention, you do the best that you can, you'd be always successful if you had control over results. Right? We all have good intentions. We all want to do the right thing. We all want to do the good thing to the best of our ability. And we do it. We put so much effort into it. We put effort into our relationships. We do so much for our husbands and wives. We try to give them the most comfort. We make sacrifices for them. We make sacrifices for our children. But there is no guarantee that you will be successful, that that relationship will be successful. No guarantee. You make sacrifices in your work. No guarantee that you are going to get a promotion. This is the reality. Now, Bhagwan Krishna is saying, don't try to live in an imaginary world and say, ये तो बहुत unfair है, ये बड़ा गलत है, and go sit in the corner. No. He says, accept this reality. Accept the reality that you don't have control over your outcomes. But he said it will be easier for you to accept when you realize that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter whether you succeed or fail. The reason why you think it matters whether you succeed or fail is because you have such a low impression of yourself. You feel, if I fail, something is wrong with me. मेरे में कोई कमी है. That is why you are concerned about failure. लोग क्या कहेंगे? That is why you are concerned about failure. Otherwise, success and failure doesn't do anything to your happiness. On the other hand, what gives you pleasure is the work itself. If you love your work and you do it to the best of your ability and you do the right thing, that gives you immense joy. It's the kind of joy nobody can take it away from you. That joy no one can take away from you. कैसे कोई ले जाएगा? Nobody can take it away. It's right here and right now. When you're doing that work, you're going to get the joy. So happy people are not successful people. Happy people are those people who enjoy right now, the present, because they love what they're doing without thinking what it's going to bring them. This attitude, very practical attitude, very real attitude, is called Karma Yoga. And Bhagavan Krishna says, once you start practicing Karma Yoga, little by little, all these other things will start falling away. You will stop worrying about what people think because you'll realize I'm just getting happy right now with what I'm doing. I'm happy. You'll stop worrying about failure. You'll stop, samsar will start losing its grip on you. Dheere dheere. It's not going to happen in a minute. It's not going to happen in an instant. It may take years. It may take lifetimes for some people. Doesn't matter. You have no choice. This is what you have to do. If you do your work with this attitude, you're going to see, I mean, it's really true. You'll see the pleasure and the fulfillment right now. And what that does is it changes your patterns in your mind. It changes how you think. It changes what you think is important. It takes your mind away from what you can't control, the result, to what you can control, which is what you're going to do right now. That's what you can control. It moves you from the future to the present. Our orientation is always in the future. When we are thinking about the result, we are always thinking about the future. आज मैं ये sacrifice करूंगी तो कल मेरी relationship अच्छी हो जाएगी या कल मुझे ये मिल जाएगा या कल मुझे घर मिल जाएगा या कल मुझे कुछ मिल जाएगा. We are thinking, our mind is always in the future. When you do Karma Yoga, it comes back into the present. You're not thinking about the future, you're thinking about right now. अभी मुझे क्या करना है? And how can I do it to the best of my ability? And how can I enjoy it? How can I enjoy what I'm doing? If you're taking care of your mother or taking care of somebody, you know, do it for the love of it. Enjoy it right now. Don't worry about आगे क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा. You're meeting your friends, enjoy them right now. Don't worry कि कल को वो मेरे friends रहेंगे कि नहीं. कल को वो मुझे तंग करेंगे. They might backstab me. They might double cross me. Don't worry about all those things. Worry about right now. Enjoy with your friends. Enjoy your children right now. Don't worry वो कल को क्या बन जाएंगे. You know, because you really don't have that much control. It doesn't mean that you don't try to do the best you can for them for the future also. You do everything. Do, but all of those things that you're doing for them, you're doing in the present. If you're even, let's say you're saying, I want to give them good education so that in the future they get a better job. When are you doing that? Giving them good education right now, right? The work is being done in the present. Enjoy the education you're giving them because you know that is the right thing to do. Enjoy it. डोंट वरी. हाय राम, पता नहीं कल नौकरी मिलेगी कि नहीं मिलेगी, कल उनको क्या हो जाएगा, कल दुनिया में क्या हो जाएगा, एआई आ गया है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, पता नहीं उनके में क्या होगा, राइट. इफ यू हैव टू वरी, देयर आर मेनी रीजंस टू वरी. सो कर्म योग pulls you from the future into the present, and it pulls you from those things you cannot control to the things that you can control, and it pulls you from anxiety to contentment. That is karma yoga. It's a beautiful thing, absolutely wonderful thing. And it's Bhagwan says in chapter 2, he says, you do just a little bit also, it will benefit you. Don't worry कि तुम नहीं कर सकते, ये तुम्हारे लिए बहुत ज्यादा है, तुम में तो इतनी काबिलियत नहीं है. Don't worry, छोटा सा करो. And धीरे धीरे धीरे, one little drop by drop by drop, it will become bigger and bigger. It will take over your life. This is then how you will lead your life in everything you do. And when that happens, what changes is your happiness, you realize, is not coming from anything outside. It's just coming from within. It's a wellspring. It's just within you. The contentment is coming. Suddenly, one day you realize, oh yeah, it's true. I'm interacting with the world very happily, and all is good. But I'm not expecting from the world because I'm feeling content within myself. It just happens automatically. Then you're ready for knowledge. Okay, that is Karma Yoga, and Bhagwan Ji introduces that in chapter 2. Chapter 3, he describes it even more. He talks about Ishwar. He says कि ईश्वर जो है, ये अगर तुम पे कंट्रोल नहीं है तो क्या कंट्रोल करता है इसको? ही डिस्क्राइब्स इट इज ईश्वर. ईश्वर इज द वन हु गिव्स द रिजल्ट्स. एंड ईश्वर क्या है? दिस होल सिस्टम, दिस होल वर्ल्ड, द सिस्टम इटसेल्फ. That is what brings results. And you're part of the world. You're part of the Ishwar. So you can't say, I don't contribute to the result. That is not true also. You can't say, मेरा तो कोई contribution ही नहीं है. मैं तो बैठ के चुपचाप मैं सोफे पे बैठी हूँ. Let's see what happens. I'll just sit down and watch TV. That's not true. You have a major contribution in the system. In your life, you have a big contribution. So if you don't work, that's not good either. So you make your contribution, but you're one of the people who are making the contribution. There are many other things in the system all around the world which is happening which you don't even understand. That is called Ishwar. That is the one which is ultimately all together is making the contribution towards whether you'll be successful or not. So he says, give yourself, let Ishwar go. Let the results go to Ishwar because that's where they belong. So understand it. Understand it. Develop a relationship with Ishwar. If you want to personify ईश्वर दैट्स फाइन. ये भगवान है, ये मूर्ति में भगवान है, कोई बात नहीं, पर बहुत अच्छा है. मूर्ति में बेशक भगवान को समझो, इफ दैट इज इजियर फॉर यू. एंड टॉक टू ईश्वर. यू नो, realize that this ईश्वर is real. This system is real. It's really there. It's what is causing producing results. You may not see it. You may not realize it, but it's there. Just like your Atma, you don't realize it's there. Ishwar is there. May not be in the rock or in the murti. It is, but it's there all around you. This intelligence is there all around you, which is producing these things, which is making the world move, go around. This intelligence is there. That's what produces results. And then he went on to further say that you are not even the doer. Don't think कि मैं ही doer हूँ, मैं करता हूँ. It's the same. He's just going further. You're you are you're a vessel. Sorry. So you are. If you think that you're Atma, you'll realize that this body and mind is just a vessel of Ishwar. ये तुमको जो बुरा गरूर है अपने ऊपर कि मैंने पढ़ा, मैं इतना इंटेलिजेंट हूँ या इतनी इंटेलिजेंट हूँ, मैं इतनी सुंदर हूँ, ये सब है. ये सब दिस जस्ट माइंड एंड बॉडी. दिस गरूर इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज ये सब ईश्वर की देन है. एवरीथिंग इज कमिंग फ्रॉम ईश्वर. तुमने कुछ नहीं करा. इफ यू आर प्रिटी, देयर इज नथिंग यू डिड टू बिकम प्रिटी. राइट? इट वाज द जीन्स. Even if you are you can say no, I may not be pretty, but I am a doctor. I studied to become a doctor. So there he's saying, even that, the fact that you studied, the fact that you had the brains to study, the fact that you had the determination to study, even that was given to you. Some people don't have the determination, some have. It's not that I decided to be determined. No. Your brain was configured in a way where determination was easy for you. You were focused. Another person is, his brain is configured in a way where you cannot be determined. He's always unfocused. Not saying that you should not try. That is not the idea. You should always try. But remember that everything is given to you. When you have that attitude, your ego will start getting a little suppressed. Your ego will be in its place. Because you will realize that actually that is true. इतनी भी जिस भी बात में मुझे प्राउड है, जिस भी बात में मुझे गुरूर है, वो that's all given by God. And you'll start becoming grateful to God for giving what He has given. If you look around you, there is a lot which God has given. If you actually step back and look at what is happening in this world and look at the general populace of this world, see where they are, what they're doing, and then look at yourself. Our family, we all have each other. We are brought up in a loving family. We have people to turn to. That is not a given. When I came to America, for the first time, I realized what loneliness really means. There are people here who have nobody to turn to. Nobody. They are somewhere in a nursing home. बूढ़े, कोई उनको पूछ नहीं रहा, कोई बात नहीं कर रहा, बेचारे दे आर डाइंग फॉर ह्यूमन कंपनी. उनसे कोई बात करो, दे विल जस्ट ग्रैब होल्ड ऑफ यू बिकॉज दे वांट समवन टू टॉक टू. कोई नहीं, मतलब, एंड देयर आर सो मेनी. डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी इज रैम्पेंट because there's not enough love. There's not enough, when they grew up, विदाउट इनफ लाड एंड प्यार, विदाउट इनफ लव, वो था ही नहीं इनके पास. So they are clamoring for it. We have so much of it. So, and we have money also. It's not that we don't have money. We have enough that we need. So a lot has been given to us by God. And if you realize that everything is given, when you think about that, how you've been given, you become grateful. There's no option. You will be looking at life as a grateful person. Because then you won't be saying मैंने करा ये मेरी ही काबिलियत है. You will be saying भगवान ने दिया. And when you say भगवान ने दिया, then you become grateful. Thank you God for giving. And again, what it does is you stop thinking about what you don't have, which is always in the future. I want that. I don't have it. I want that. Again, to what you have. When you start thinking about what you have, you're thinking about the present. What you have right now, you're thinking about the present. I'm thankful to God for what I have right now. So again, this Karam Yoga brings you back into the present, into what is there right now. It removes your focus from desires, what you don't have and what you need, to gratefulness. You move from desire to gratefulness. Be grateful for what I have. That's Karam Yoga. All this was there in chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somebody is joining. And then in 6, he talks about meditation, which we talked last time, different ways to meditate and so on. But oh my god, मैं तो इंट्रोडक्शन करनी थी. I was giving a summary, तो पूरी क्लास ही खत्म हो गई. So, sorry. So anyway, um, that was all. It was all about Karam Yoga. How in the end he said, after everything is done, after you reach this state where you are happy and content, then meditation becomes real. Then meditation, you can actually sit in meditation and feel the joy, because you can contemplate God. You can contemplate what is what is uh, what is given to you. You can contemplate your current state of fullness. So you don't need to move around. You don't need to do this, do that. You can just sitting within yourself for a few hours or for a few minutes every day becomes a joyous exercise, and you just relax. You like it, and it gets you deeper and deeper into this feeling of contentment when the meditation starts working. Okay, so this was the first 6 chapters. Now the suddenly chapter 7 made the whole. अभी तक ठीक है ना? I mean, no, nothing new, no questions. We're all good.
Nettu,
Hmm.
Nettu, हाँ इंदु,
दीदी, हाय
Nettu,
दीदी, आपकी शक्ल नहीं दिख रही.
मैं
कोई बात नहीं, कोई
मैं
बात नहीं. इट्स ओके.
हाँ,
कोई बात नहीं. इट्स फाइन.
Nettu,
हाँ जी
I
दीदी.
would love that you talk on meditation a little because we missed it and there was no recording.
Okay. It's a long thing, so I will talk next class or the class after, one of those classes. I will go through, because we went through the whole, the different kinds of meditations. I don't know whether you were there or not. There was no
No, I
recording.
wasn't there. That's why I said.
Oh, there was no recording. Oh, okay. I'll definitely talk about it. It's very interesting. Then I just want to introduce chapter 7 so that we can boni boni ho jaye. ठीक है? So next time we'll go there. I don't want to go back now to chapter 1 and 6 again. So now in chapter 7, um, Bhagwan changes the tone of the Gita. You can actually literally see how the tone changes. Instead of talking about him, he starts talking about me. What am I? Who am I? And so on. So this is now less about Karma Yoga is always there throughout the Gita, but he now starts describing the world. What is this world all about? And chapter 7, the main thing he tells Arjun that there is a difference. There are two kinds of gyan, if you want to think about it. दो तरह के ज्ञान. एक ज्ञान, he says, is para ज्ञान, और एक ज्ञान is अपरा ज्ञान. So para आपको पता है ना, para means ऊंचा. When we say paramatma, सबसे ऊंची आत्मा, या
Mhm.
परमेश्वर, सबसे ऊंचा ईश्वर। पर और परम, परम इज अ न्यूटर फॉर्म। पर इज मीन्स हाई, द हाईएस्ट, सबसे ऊंचा। सो एक है पर ज्ञान, सबसे ऊंचा ज्ञान, और एक है अपर ज्ञान, जो सबसे ऊंचा नहीं है। एंड ही सेज कि जो हमने ज्ञान अभी तक सुना है, जो ज्ञान देखते हैं, वो सब अपर ज्ञान है। जो पर ज्ञान है, दैट इज द ज्ञान अबाउट योर सेल्फ, द ज्ञान अबाउट ब्रह्मन, अबाउट योर आत्मा, दैट इज पर ज्ञान। एंड दैट ज्ञान is different from the aparagyan in many ways. And by getting more and more of aparagyan, you're not going to get paragyan. So aparagyan क्या होगा? Just give an example. Not the para तो बता दिया आत्मा, अपरा कौन सा ज्ञान होगा? What about knowledge of medicine? अपरा है, अपरा है,
Okay.
अपरा.
Mhm.
What about knowledge of दुनिया?
That is
Apara.
also apara.
अपरा. What about knowledge of वेद? ये जो रिचुअल्स होते
Apara.
हैं वेद के, ये जो हम करते हैं,
Apara.
पूजा करते हैं, अपरा या अपरा?
I think
Para.
that is all.
All अपरा, even that is अपरा.
Acha, boy.
What about knowledge of ईश्वर?
That is paragyan.
That is
अपरा. अपरा.
Right?
I'll explain to you. Okay, it's okay. Relax. I'll tell you.
That knowledge, na?
That's why I was asking you this.
Yeah, that is knowledge. You can get it from anywhere.
Yeah, you. That is objective knowledge. You think of Ishwar as separate from you. That is
And
not
that
paragyan.
wisdom comes, then I think
Yeah.
then it
So
will
what?
happen.
Any knowledge you can think of. What about knowledge about your children?
Apara.
Apara. What about knowledge about how to relate with people in this world?
I
That
think
is
that is
also apara.
Apara. What
Apara.
about Karam Yoga?
Uh,
That
that
could be Param.
No, Apara. Karam Yoga is
acha.
also Apara. Karam Yoga is also you as an individual. You're trying to figure out how to relate to people. Everything you can name, anything, howsoever pious, howsoever good, howsoever bad, whatever, doesn't matter. It's all Apara. Apara is the knowledge of something which is not you, the knowledge of an object. When you think about God, Ishwar, as somebody who's not you, someone who is a मूर्ति, someone जिसको तुम पूजा कर रहे हो, जो तुमसे अलग है, जिसको तुम कह रहे हो मेरा ख्याल रखो, it's अपरा. When you think about, because it's a other than you, when you gain knowledge of medicine, क्या कर रहे हो तुम? पढ़ रहे हो. A knowledge has been given to you. That is not you. You are the one getting that knowledge. That is not you. Apara. So if you think about the way we always learn everything, हमेशा हमेशा हम यही सोचते हैं कि एक मैं हूं और मुझे ये ज्ञान चाहिए. मेरे में ज्ञान नहीं है अभी और मुझे ये ज्ञान चाहिए. तो वो जो ज्ञान होता है वो तुम नहीं हो, वो बाहर है. वो उसका ज्ञान है जिस चीज का तुमको ज्ञान चाहिए. अगर तुम मेडिसिन की बात कर रहे हो तो तुमको अब किसी बॉडीज का ज्ञान चाहिए, बॉडीज कैसे ऑपरेट करती हैं. अगर तुम इंजीनियरिंग की बात कर रहे हो तो तुमको ये तकनीकी ज्ञान चाहिए कि दुनिया कैसे, तकनीकी कैसे, व्हिच आर द फोर्सेस व्हिच आर देयर एंड हाउ डू दे वर्क. अगर तुम अगर तुम अपने मन की भी, इवन इफ यू टॉक अबाउट साइकोलॉजी, यू आर looking at मन एज एन ऑब्जेक्ट एंड saying how does the mind work. What happens to the mind when something like this happens? If there's a trauma, what happens to the mind? It's apara gyan. You're always, and this is the only gyan we know. All our lives, we have only dealt with apara gyan. ईश्वर क्या है हमारे लिए? ईश्वर वो है जो हमारा ख्याल रखेगा. ओके, हम तो नहीं है ना वो, ईश्वर अलग है. सो और ईश्वर क्या है?
Apara.
वो जिस सारी सृष्टि को बनाया है उसने, सारी जिंदगी को, मैं उसकी पूजा करूंगी. ठीक है, वी नो दैट. बट अगेन इट्स, मैं उसकी पूजा करूंगी, मैं उसकी पूजा करूंगी. डिफरेंट, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन मैं एंड उसकी. करेक्ट, इट्स अपर ज्ञान. एंड अ फीचर ऑफ संसार इज अपरा ज्ञान। ये जो संसारी होते हैं, बड़े कभी कभी बहुत पुजारी भी होते हैं। यू कैन बी अ पुजारी एंड अ संसारी एट द सेम टाइम। एंड some pujaris are very deep samsaris because they actually believe we are not samsaris. हम तो भगवान की पूजा करते हैं तो हम संसारी नहीं है। That is what they
Hmm.
believe. But they are really deep samsaris because they can't even see themselves as samsaris. उनको पता ही नहीं है कि कितने संसारी हैं वो। क्योंकि भगवान की पूजा किस लिए करते हैं? ताकि भगवान हमको कुछ दे। भगवान मेरा
Hmm.
ख्याल रख, तभी मैं भगवान की पूजा कर रहा हूँ। भगवान से मांगते हैं, हम पूजा नहीं करते, हम मांगते हैं। There's nothing wrong in it. But डू वी एवर डू पूजा टू भगवान सेइंग भगवान जो तू कर रहा है बिल्कुल ठीक कर रहा है, आई एम वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू यू, करते जाओ। वी डोंट डू पूजा देन, वी डोंट नीड टू डू पूजा देन। वो तो मेंटल एटीट्यूड है। सो दैट इज ऑल्सो संसारी, बिकॉज हम सोचते हैं कि जो हमारा सेटिस्फैक्शन है कहीं बाहर है, किसी और इंसान में है, और भगवान उसको बनाए रखो ताकि मुझे वो सेटिस्फैक्शन मिले। ठीक है। सो ऑल ऑफ दिस इज पर अपर ज्ञान। And Gita describes it very nicely, and it talks about the different, it even gives you in this chapter, it gives you how the Shrishti was formed. But then it Bhagwan tells you that is अपरा ज्ञान। मैं तुमको बताता हूँ सृष्टि कैसे आई थी। वो आई थी बिकॉज पहले it came from earth, space, air, fire, water, earth, these five elements। पहले स्पेस आई, फिर उसमें एयर आई, फिर उसमें वाटर आया, फिर उसमें अर्थ आई, ऑल दीज थिंग्स, फायर आई। इट डिस्क्राइब्स द, पहले it calls them tanmatra. First, the subtle forms of these things came. Then they combined and they became gross forms. And they all combined and they became this world and all that. He says all this. He describes how the world, you can feel, oh my God, now I know how the world was created. अब मेरे में इतना ज्ञान आ गया। Then he says, बता तो दिया मैंने तुम्हें, पर ये अपरा ज्ञान है। Okay, this is not the ज्ञान जो तुमको बेड़ा पार करेगा तुम्हारा। पूजा करने से बेड़ा पार नहीं होगा। That's the other thing. पूजा करने से मन अच्छा होगा, शांत होगा। कर्म योग करने से बेड़ा पार नहीं होगा, कर्म योग करने से मन शांत होगा। और मन शांत होने पे जब तुम पर ज्ञान मिलेगा तुमको, तब तुम्हारा बेड़ा पार होगा। यू कांट गेट परम पर ज्ञान विदाउट हैविंग अ काम माइंड। जिंदगी में फंसे 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 एंड सडनली यू वांट पर ज्ञान, नहीं होगा। थोड़ा अपरा ज्ञान, द राइट अपरा ज्ञान, कर्म योग, ईश्वर की भक्ति, द राइट पर अपरा ज्ञान विल काम योर माइंड। The wrong aparagyan will agitate your mind. So you use the aparagyan to calm your mind. Once your mind is calm, then it is ready to receive the paragyan. Then it's ready to know कि तुम कि तुम्हारा अस्तित्व जो है वही तुम्हारी खुशी है, तुम्हारा अस्तित्व ही तुम्हारा मोक्ष है। It tells you that. Then you're ready to understand that you don't, nobody else is going to give you moksha. Nobody else is going to take you from here to there. You're already there. You are the one who is taking you there. So once you this to get this understanding, you have to have a calm mind. And all you can work with right now is aparagyan, because paragyan is out of your scope right now. So जिससे भी काम करोगे वो अपरा ज्ञान में ही काम करोगे, और अपरा ज्ञान में you're looking for the right ज्ञान. You're looking for bhakti, you're looking for karma yoga, you're looking for Ishwar. So these are all very good apara gyans, which will give you little calmness of mind. Okay. So this is the introduction. Next time we'll go much deeper into this, and I will explain to you exactly how Bhagwan Ji talks about the apara gyan and different kinds of apara gyan and all that. But I just thought let me whet your appetite. Okay. गीता इज अ रेडिकल थिंग। लाइक हम सोचते हैं कितनी कितनी चीजें हमारे मन में होती हैं व्हेन वी आर ग्रोइंग अप, कि ये चीज अच्छी है, ये बुरी है, ऐसा ऐसा है। गीता डिमोलिशेस देम, इट जस्ट थ्रोज कोल्ड वाटर ओवर दीज थिंग्स and is so logical and just you know um,
Practical.
practical. Exactly.
और
Okay.
ने- और नित्तु
हाँ जी दीदी।
ठीक ठाक सब।
हाँ हाँ,
मैं
सब ठीक सब ठीक। हाउ
मैं
आर
भी
यू
थोड़ी
डूइंग?
लेट हो गई।
मैं
मैं जब माता की चौकी So I was just caught there for some time. फिर मैं थोड़ी
हम्म।
लेट ही आई हूँ.
दीदी, इट डजंट
पर
मैटर, दीज आर, हम कितने लंबा कर रहे हैं, एक दिन की बात थोड़ी ना है ये. इट डजंट मैटर, दिस इज अ मैराथन. दिस इज, अभी तो हम 6वें
नहीं,
चैप्टर पे पहुंचे हैं, सो इट्स टोटली ओके. समटाइम्स
मैम
यू मेक
ये
इट,
जो
समटाइम्स यू डोंट मेक इट,
recording
दिस
is
इज
there.
ऑन. हाँ जी.
मुझे प्लीज लिंक भेज देना इस चैप्टर की. I would like to
हाँ
hear
हाँ,
it.
आई विल डेफिनेटली सेंड यू. हमने रिकॉर्ड करा है, दिस टाइम आई रिमेंबर टू रिकॉर्ड, सो आई
अच्छा
विल सेंड
चलो,
यू.
थैंक यू. बस वो बहुत जान पहचान वाले लोग थे, फिर they didn't let me come. I
नो,
was
दैट्स
wanting
ओके
to come.
दीदी,
हाँ,
डोंट
बस
वरी.
चलो.
So you are doing some up, Pragyan. That's okay.
यस.
मैं
अब वो
मैं
पूछो,
सोच रही थी.
वेदांत क्या है, बाय द वे? जो वेदांत है वो कौन सा ज्ञान है?
तो what should one do?
अपरा ज्ञान, राइट.
Like I do जैसे जाप करो या आरती करो. This is all
Apragan.
no use.
Apragan.
नो नो नो, ऑफ कोर्स नॉट दीदी. नो, बिल्कुल नहीं.
हाँ,
बिल्कुल. जाप और आरती बहुत यूजफुल है.
अच्छा.
आपको, आप
But
देखोगे फिर कर्म योग इज नो यूज, सारी गीता ही खत्म हो जाएगी. गीता में तो यही बताया है इन्होंने, जाप करो, आरती करो, कर्म योग करो. इट्स ओनली सेइंग कि सिर्फ ये, इस किस लिए कर रहे हो ये पता करो, किस लिए कर रहे हो. ये जाप और कर्म योग वगैरह आप इसलिए कर रहे हो ताकि आपके आपके मन को थोड़ी शांति मिले, इसलिए कर रहे हो. ताकि आप थोड़ा अपने जो तुम्हारे डिजायर्स है ना, तुम्हारे मन में जो इतने उत्तेजना है, मुझे ये भी चाहिए, ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, ये भी करना है, दिस रेस्टलेसनेस, ये कम हो जाए. सो दैट यू स्टॉप
In
थिंकिंग ऑफ
other
द
words,
फ्यूचर ऑल द टाइम एंड स्टार्ट
you
थिंकिंग ऑफ द
prepare
प्रेजेंट.
yourself for Paramgran.
या यू प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ फॉर paragyaan. That is a reasonable, a good way, but people don't realize why they have to do. वो तो करते रहते हैं without thinking. They say अगर मैं अगर ये नहीं करूंगी तो मुझे कुछ गलत हो जाएगा, अगले जन्म में मेरे को कुछ बुरा मिल जाएगा, तो मैं इसे कर रही हूँ. That's not the way to. That will propitiate your samsar. That will increase your restlessness. If you do the puja with the wrong attitude, it will increase your restlessness. Because your puja, you're saying, I want to do the puja because मुझे कुछ चाहिए, कुछ चाहिए, कुछ चाहिए. So that just becomes another way of wanting something. So it increases your restlessness. So for puja to work properly, puja has to be done the right way. And what does right proper work mean? Proper work means do it in a way that it calms your mind down. It
yes,
takes your focus away from the future and into the present. It
So in
makes you
other words,
feel
we all do
grateful
it
for what you are.
selfishly.
Yes, we do it selfishly.
yes.
So don't do it selfishly. It's selfish. To say that I want to calm my mind down is also selfish, right?
That's
You're doing
right.
it to calm your mind down. That is also selfish. But it's a different selfish. Selfish में कोई खराबी नहीं है. It's an enlightened selfishness. You're doing something which puja can actually do for you. Actually, you're asking puja to do something जो पूजा तुम्हारे लिए कर सकती है. पूजा तुम्हारे माइंड को काम कर सकती है, माइंड को स्थापित कर सकती है. पूजा पूजा हैज द पावर to make you feel relaxed and calm. Karam Yoga also has the power to make you feel relaxed and calm and in the present. All these disciplines have the power to do that. So if you ask them to do those things for you, if you do them with that attitude, that will happen. But these disciplines don't have the power to give you like to say कि मेरे को मोक्ष चाहिए. They don't have that. Or if you do them the wrong way, इफ यू कीप सेइंग मैं भगवान को पूजा इसलिए कर रही हूँ ताकि मेरी जो संसारी जिंदगी है वो और भी, मुझे और भी पैसा मिले, राइट? देन यू आर नॉट यूजिंग दीज डिसिप्लिन्स विद द राइट. then your their power is not for that. Their power is not to give you more wealth. Their power is to give you calmness and peace of mind. Then you can get frustrated with पूजा. तो मैंने भगवान की इतनी पूजा करी लेकिन फिर भी मुझे भगवान ने कुछ नहीं दिया. क्या करा? भगवान का क्या फायदा? पूजा करने का क्या फायदा? अगर तुम पूजा से वो चाह रहे हो जो पूजा दे ही नहीं सकती, पूजा कांट गिव यू मनी, सो देन यू कैन ब्लेम द पूजा. पूजा का फायदा नहीं है. बट इफ यू आर आस्किंग पूजा टू डू व्हाट इट एक्चुअली इज मेंट टू डू, पूजा इज मेंट टू गिव यू पीस ऑफ माइंड. दैट इट विल गिव यू. देन यू डू पूजा आस्किंग फॉर पीस ऑफ माइंड विद पर्सपेक्टिव कि मुझे पीस चाहिए, पीस चाहिए. देन यू सी नहीं मिला पीस, देन यू कैन ब्लेम द पूजा. बट ऐसा होगा ही नहीं. यू विल गेट द पीस. You will get the peace. You will get Karam Yoga, so you'll get the peace. if that's what you're asking for, but these things are not they're not designed to give you more money.
Yes.
Those are rituals. Those are rituals in the early part of Veda, which were, जो हमको confuse हो गए हैं. वो जो पंडित वगैरह रिचुअल करते थे ना, वो थे, उनमें कहते थे कि अगर तुमको यज्ञ करो, ताकि तुमको अगर पैसा चाहिए तो उसके लिए यज्ञ करो, पुत्र चाहिए तो उसके लिए पुत्र कामेश्वर यज्ञ करो, अगर तुमको एक्सपैंड करना है तो कोई दूसरा यज्ञ करो, अगर if you have to expand your territory, you to conquer nations. So those are yajns, those are different things altogether. That's not what we are talking about when we say puja. Those are rituals. I don't know whether they work, but Vedas say that they work. I have no idea whether they do. But I know that puja works if it's done for peace of mind. For
Selflessly.
calmness. Yes.
So in other
But
words, whenever we do puja, we are unconsciously wanting to fulfill our desires.
Yes.
If you look at it very deeply.
Correct. But if you do
Because
puja,
you're always unconsciously saying कि ये ठीक हो जाए, वो ठीक हो जाए.
correct.
Though
Correct.
I mean you do it whatever you do.
Absolutely.
You're not
Because
aware
तुमको
of it.
लगता है कि वो ठीक होगा तभी तुमको कामनेस मिलेगी, लेकिन
नहीं
वो
वो
गलत फहमी है, बिकॉज
ऐसे
वो ठीक
लगता
होगा
है
तो कल को कुछ
कि ये
और
मैं
खराब हो
इतनी
जाएगा.
बारी करूंगी तो ठीक होगा.
हाँ. So next time you do puja by asking God not कि मुझे ये भी मिल जाए वो भी मिल जाए, but to ask God मुझे शांति दो. Right?
if
Ask
you
for that.
if you ask only for the safety of your children, so
फिर नहीं,
that is
no,
wrong.
no, it's nothing wrong. It cannot be wrong. If you're not capable of asking for shanti, if you're only capable for asking for safety, then you ask for safety. But if you feel that I can ask for shanti, and I trust God, and I will ask for that, then you do that. Whatever you feel
नहीं
you
आजकल because of this Dubai problem, so
no, Didi, there's
I
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
I ask God to protect my children.
Correct.
Bas,
Yes. And do
that's all.
that. That's totally fine.
That's all. But otherwise, also I used to do it without asking for anything, as just in a routine, not asking for anything, not wanting anything, but I just do it like my daily life, कहते हैं ना routine.
That's
इसमें
very good,
जाप
Didi.
करना
It's
है,
fine.
इस
Just
वक्त
do it.
आरती,
Yeah.
just as a routine I keep on doing. Or as a tota I can do jap without asking, not even knowing myself what am I wanting. Just doing Ram, 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 Ram. That's all.
Yeah. No, in
But
fact, actually, Bhagavan Krishna says that. I mean, I like this about the Gita. Bhagavan Krishna says, you can reach me any way you want. You can do whatever you want. जिस तरह भी जो भी भगवान से चाहिए मांगो, जिस भी भगवान को मांगो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. चाहे तुम विष्णु को करो, चाहे शिव को करो, चाहे तुम जीसस क्राइस्ट को करो, चाहे तुम मांगो ना मांगो, कुछ भी करो, जो भी तुम कर रहे हो, your words reach me. That's what he says. Ultimately, they
yes,
reach me.
yes.
So that's totally fine. Whatever your place you're in.
Because Sarla auntie told me you should do jap in daily life. It is a must. So I started doing it from that day only.
Yeah,
But
that's
as
good.
a routine, कितने सालों से I'm doing that as a routine. Not even knowing if I want anything, मतलब that it is not with the mind that I want something. But आजकल I ask for the safety of my children. That's all.
That's very
In the
good, Didi.
बाकी तो
Yeah.
I never think of anything but just तोते की तरह जाप करना है, जाप करते जाओ. Without
No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
hmm,
और किससे मांगोगे? अगर सेफ्टी चाहिए अपने बच्चों की तो किससे मांगोगे? और तो किसी से मांग नहीं सकते ना, भगवान से ही मांगोगे.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
हाँ, so that is also fine.
और I yeah, just tell God, मैं एक धक्का लग चुका है. I don't want any more धक्काs in my life.
Yeah.
Just take me before that, so that I bear or see anything, any bad thing in my life anymore. That's all. I just pray for that कि मुझे
Yes.
ऐसा नहीं दिखाना,
I
which
think
I can't.
we all want to pray for that, Didi. It's totally
Yes,
fine.
yes. चलो
Okay.
मैं I tell God sometimes कि मेरे सारे डिजायर्स फुलफिल हो चुके हैं, मैंने सब संसार देख लिया, अब नाउ यू कैन टेक मी अवे, आई एम रेडी टू कम, पर कोई नॉट रेडी टू टेक मी, क्या करो ना। चलो,
ओके
जिस
दीदी,
दिन,
चलो, इट्स क्वाइट लेट नाउ।
अच्छा,
आपके सोने का टाइम हो गया सबके, ठीक है।
नहीं, मैं पहले
ठीक
वो
है।
आपका सॉन्ग सुनूंगी फिर सोऊंगी। चलो,
ओके।
जो भी,
ओके इंदु दीदी।
ओके, थैंक यू नीतू।
ओके भाभी।
थैंक यू
बाय
नीतू।
बाय संगीता।
बाय।
मधु दीदी,
बाय।
बाय बाय।
बाय।
प्राची, सीमा, बाय।